All right, Shalom. Shalom. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And this is Brother Korah Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And real briefly, I want to go into another lesson. As I was, as we do daily, we meditate, wherever the spirit take us, but mainly on these scriptures. And it's something that I was thinking about that Yahweh Shai quoted in Isaiah the 61st chapter, which I might start in chapter 60, right? But I was thinking about something Yahweh Shai quoted in Isaiah the 61st chapter, right? And the reason I wanted to do this lesson is because you know how you have a lot of these Christians, even if they don't refer to themselves as Christian or Baptist, they might be a vocab Malone follower, so on and so forth, whatever it is. But the universal doctrine of the Bible is that all people could be saved, everybody could be in the kingdom of heaven. You see, let's rephrase that everybody will be saved. And yes, every nation will be in the kingdom of heaven. But the teachings of the world is that all nations will be on the same level in the kingdom of heaven, which that's false. That's not true. You see, it's written in Bible prophecy for the Israelites to rule over the heathens. It's written in Bible prophecy for the Son of the Most High and his people, which are the Israelites, to rule over the heathens, man. And that's why Revelation 19:10, the testimony of Yahweh Shai, is what? The spirit of prophecy. And when you consider this, prophecy is truly the anchor of this ministry, man. If somebody want to come up and debate, say a Christian want to come up and debate, yeah, we can spar back and forth. We can have fun with a Christian, when we bring out the Gentile scriptures, or John 3:16, or bring out the Greek or the Hebrew definition of Gentile, so on and so forth. But the thing is, we can do all the back and forth. But what's going to get straight to the point? That's prophecy, man. Because you can say, well, no, this Gentile in Ephesians is talking about the actual heathens, and another person might say, well, no, in Romans, Paul was talking about the actual heathens and not no Israelite foreigners, right? You can say all that. But again, when we go to prophecy, that's where all that BS ends, man. Because you can't get around prophecy. You can't get around prophecy. Yeah, we can go back and forth. You got a precept, I got one. John 3:16, I got this one. When we go to prophecy, no Christian can't say nothing against that, because that got to happen. And that's why I got in the title, A Question for Christians. Will this be fulfilled, or is Isaiah a false prophet? And there's many other prophets, that speak along the lines of what we're about to read as far as us in the kingdom of heaven. Because, the reason why I say, is Isaiah a false prophet? Because as we read these things, if you have somebody out there who don't believe in this Israelite truth, who may be a vocab Malone follow, or Christian or Baptist, once we read these things, if you say they not go come true, and now mind you, it's prophecy, it gotta happen. It's in the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're gonna read. So it gotta happen. The point is, if these things that Isaiah wrote, and now mind you, Yahweh Shai quoted them. Yahweh Shai quoted the chapter. If Isaiah wrote these things, and if a Christian say they not go come true, what that mean? That mean you saying Isaiah a false prophet. That mean you saying he didn't get the right inspiration from the Most High on what we about to read. So again, will this be fulfilled? And the question for Christians, will this be fulfilled, or is Isaiah a false prophet, man? Matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, let's get straight into Isaiah 16. Let me share my screen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with Isaiah 14. That one just hit me. Let's get that first. This is Isaiah 14. So let me share my screen. All right, there we go. So let's start with this, because I wanted to get Isaiah 61. That's what I was thinking about earlier. And then it makes sense for us to start in Isaiah 60, and go into 61. But let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's go to Isaiah 14. We could just hit the first 3 verses because, again, this is going into the destruction of Babylon the Great. Not ancient Babylon, but Babylon the Great in the latter days, which is now. You see, which is now. Now watch what the Lord say. We're going to read the first 3 verses. Now, again, after we read this, is this true and will this happen? Or is Isaiah lying? Let's read it. And again, we just sticking on Isaiah. There's many other prophets who said the same things or even worse. But let's read this. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, for the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, as he always chose the nation of Israel. He said he gonna once again choose us, and it's the last time. Because once we get saved by Yahushua this time, we're gonna never again be casted off by our power. We're gonna be perfect. But it says, for the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. So the Israelites, we're going back home. This is a time of salvation, right? When Jesus comes. It says, and the strangers shall be joined with them and shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So the whole house of Israel coming back together. Now check this out. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. Let's stop there. This talking about the kingdom of heaven. So it's saying the Israelites will possess other nations in the kingdom of heaven, man. So we're going to read on some more, but is Isaiah lying or is he telling the truth? Will this happen? And these are some of the questions these Christians got to ask. They want to ask us all these questions, which we answer them. But when we ask them simple things, we never see Vocab Malone throw up a response video to the questions. Dr. James White, you see? So again, as we go on this lesson, is Isaiah a false prophet? Or what he writing concerning the Israelites ruling over these heathens in the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth, or will this come true? Come on, man. So let's read it again. Isaiah 14 and 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants. So we ain't just go possess them just to waste time. No, we possessing them. What possess mean? Let's see. Possess, it says, this is a quick Google definition, have as belonging to one, to own. So we ain't just go own them just cause. No, this is the reason we gonna own them. Let's read it. And the house of Israel, so the nation of Israel, shall possess them. So we go own the heathens in the land of the Lord. This is the reason why. For servants and handmaids, male slaves and female slaves. It says, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Is Isaiah a false prophet, or will this be fulfilled, man? We got to ask these questions because this ain't happened yet. Even Vocab Malone, we got to get that clear. Even which Apostle Hall cut that up as soon as he tried to say that. But in this chapter, Vocab Malone tried to say this was actually after the actual Babylonian Empire. Because it's mentioned in Babylon in verse 4 about Babylon falling. But again, that's not talking about ancient Babylon falling. When you go in, it's talking about modern Babylon falling, America. And Vocab Malone tried to use this to say, oh no, this was already fulfilled after Babylon, before Persian and Medes. Well, this how that's false. And you can't tie this to that. Because it say right here that after Babylon fall, we're going to possess heathens and take them captives, who captives we were. And it says, verse 3, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So after this Babylon fell, it says that the Israelites was going to take these heathens captive, whose captives we're going to rule over our oppressors. And then after this, we ain't going to never lift another hand again. We ain't going to never sorrow again. We ain't going to never fear again. So the question for Vocab, if he say this was fulfilled after Nebuchadnezzar and the ancient Babylonian Empire, If that's so, then why right after that we went into the Persian and the Mede captivity, then the Greeks, then the Romans? So verse 3, we still was sorrowing in fear and in hard bondage as it is today. This wasn't fulfilled yet, man. When we left the ancient Babylonian captivity, ain't no nigga rule over nobody, man. You see, Zerubbabel and Joshua the high priest ain't have nobody in chains building a second temple. No, this gonna happen now, man. So again, let's read it from verse 2 and we go read verse 3. But will this be fulfilled once Yahweh shall come back and we'll get more in the kingdom of heaven? The Israelites gonna rule over these heathens, man. That's written. And there's many other places, but we're gonna stick to Isaiah. Is he a false prophet or will this happen? Isaiah 14:2 again, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, own them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage where thou was made to serve. This haven't happened yet. This haven't happened yet. And it's going to happen after America cease, because it says, and thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Esau Edom, man. That's going to happen now. This will be fulfilled. This will be fulfilled. Again, going back, let me get Revelation 19 real quick. Going back to Revelation 19. Prophecy is the anchor of our ministry, man. Yeah, we can, again, when Christians come up and they say this and, and say that, and all nations could be saved in John 3:16, yeah, we can go back and forth with them for entertainment, right? For views, get a precept, I'm going to get this definition. But look, at the end of the day, we always got them beat. We can go to prophecy any day and end the conversation. You see? But if you want to know, but I want to spar a little bit, we could pull this precept. Hey, brother, get that definition in world for John 3:16, what that is. So we can do those things for the edification of the camera. But when we want to get straight to the point, if it is a debate or Christians do come up and argue their point, all we got to do is go to prophecy and the conversation is done. The conversation done. Because how they gonna get around future prophecies that say the heathens gonna be ruled over by the Israelites when the Lord come back in the earth? How you gonna get around that? How you gonna get around? Let's get Isaiah 62, not the chapter 62, but 60 as well. After we read this, because that's gonna say the heathens gonna build up our kingdom. If that's written, will it not happen? Or if the one who wrote it, as we will get from Isaiah, or is he a false prophet? Which one? It gotta happen, man. Revelation 19:10, and I felt this, the apostle John, Yahushua best friend. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, so this is an angel speaking to John. This is what he said. See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. And as we got this testimony of Yahushua, guess what? We have the spirit of prophecy, which is likened unto an armor, man. Nobody could penetrate this. Nobody could say what ain't. You see? Nobody could say it ain't gonna be true. You see? But let's get Isaiah 60. Let's get this real quick. And I might read the KJV too. I might say it a little more plainer. So there's Isaiah 60. And we're gonna get 61. Because the point I wanted, or what made me think about this, was chapter 61, because Yahushua himself actually quoted Isaiah 61. He quoted like the first 4 verses. I think that's in Luke 4. The thing is, if Yahushua quoted Isaiah 61, do that mean he didn't agree with 60, what we about to read? He didn't agree with the chapter before? Or even if he quoted the first couple of verses in chapter 61, he only agreed with those verses and not the rest of the chapter, like we're going to read on? Come on, man. Volume of the book, Yahushua agree with these things as well. These things will happen. So this is Isaiah 60. And we're going to start at, right, we're going to start at 8. Is Isaiah 60:8. It says, who are these that fly as clouds, as the doves to their windows, the chariots, right? It says, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy power, and the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. So what this going into is us being saved. You know, the chariots, you know, bringing us back home. Nations from afar who missiles didn't hit them, they could be bringing Israelites back to the land. So this is what it's going into. But now check it out. This is what it say. Isaiah 60:10. It says, and the sons of strangers, and the sons of strangers, in other words, heathen children, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. Just like we built these empires for certain nations, America, Egypt. Well, look, when we rule, they're gonna build up our kingdom. In which this clearly show we ain't gonna be on the same level in the kingdom of heaven. Just like we're in a white man's world now, which is like they say, a white man's world is a black man's hell. Right? We ain't on the same level. Ain't no such thing as Israelite supremacy now, but it's white supremacy. It's a levels. You see? So when we rule, it's gonna be levels. What is a king without servants, man? The king ain't about to do nothing for himself. Just like us today as Israelites, we the employees, the bus drivers, the lunch ladies, the downtrodden jobs. So when we rule, we're gonna have other nations doing the downtrodden jobs. That's it, and that's all. So Isaiah 60:10, and the sons of strangers, and I mind you, Christians, if there's a Christian out there that's secretly listening or might stumble upon this or vocab alone, as we reading this, will this come to pass, or is Isaiah a false prophet? Isaiah 16:10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right? In the Lord's wrath, he judged the nation of Israel. But in his mercy, we're going to bounce back. He's going to have favor on us, man. It says, verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. And when you go into the ancient world, you know, you had certain gates around the city, like the eye of the needle gate, right? The needle gate. But once the sun started going down in the city, we'll close the gates. No more buying and selling, right? There was also a defense for enemies, right? We closing the city up. Well, the law is saying right here, once we rule in the kingdom, our gates gonna be open continually. Ain't no reason to close them. And we're gonna see why. It says, therefore, thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night. This is the reason, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Let's read the NLT. It says, your gates will stay open day and night to receive the wealth of many lands. The kings of the world will be led as captives in a victory procession. Come on, man. Will this not happen? Verse 12, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly destroyed. So I hope you don't get aggravated with me, but I'm gonna keep asking this from time to time. Will this not happen? Because if it won't, that means Isaiah lying and he a false prophet. Right? Let's read the NLT. For the nations that refuse to serve you will be destroyed. You ain't gonna have no choice if you want to serve us or not. Come on, man. Verse 13, the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir and the pine tree and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. Come on, man. Hey, because look, how we see Israel right now, that's not how Israel gonna look when we go back, just dust and dirt. The Lord is saying, look, we're gonna get trees back, hey, greenery. That place gonna be beautified again. But it goes on to say, and the sons also of them that afflicted thee, who afflicted us, the heathens. So them and their sons, it says, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. So it's already telling us in the kingdom, these people will be bowing to us, man. Verse 15, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Let's read 16 in the NLT. It says, powerful kings and mighty nations will satisfy your every need. Come on, man. Powerful kings and mighty nations will satisfy your every need, as though you were a child nursing at the breast of a queen. You will know at last that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Israel. These things are happening for the Israelites. For the Israelites, man. And you know, we could keep reading on. You know how the Lord said, in our kingdom, instead of wood, things gonna be built with brass instead of iron, stones. Come on, and these heathens gonna build up everything. You can't get around it. The Lord ain't coming to save everybody, man. That's clear. That's clear as day. That's clear as day. That's clear as day. Let's get Isaiah 61, right? Well, first, let's get Luke 4, because I want to get how Yahushua quoted this chapter. And then we're going to go to the chapter to see what Yahushua was quoting. And I mind you, the verses he quoted, he ain't just believing those verses. You better believe the Lord believed in the whole thing, man. Where is it at? Yep, here it is. So let's read this. And then we're going to go to because look, Yahushua opened the scrolls as we about to read, and he started reading. Now, back then, it wasn't Isaiah 61. Or it didn't have Isaiah chapter this, Jeremiah chapter that. No, it was just a scroll. It didn't have verses. It was just written out. But the Spirit had him, led him to Isaiah 61, and he started reading that, which he fulfilled this at this point. The thing is, he just stopped and closed the book because he just wanted to pull that precept, and he closed the book. The thing was, if the Lord would have kept reading in Isaiah 61, we'll see what it's going to say, because this would have came out the Lord's mouth on what the heathen's going to be doing or what's their role in the kingdom and the world to come. So if he would have kept reading, we would have heard him say it. But let's get this real quick. This is Luke chapter 4. And I'm gonna start at verse 14. It says, and Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him throughout all the region round about. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. And I like this because it said Yahushua's custom was on the Sabbath day, he went in the synagogue and he read. But today, the day was going to be different, because today he was going to start his ministry. Because usually when the Lord came in and read in the synagogue, usually when he came read, as it say, his custom was, so he was been reading before this day right here, what we about to read. But usually when he read, just like everybody else, he'll just read. He ain't do no breaking down and say, look, this talking about me, right? Or the Lord, my Father sent me. He ain't do none of that. He was just reading like everybody else who came in the synagogue and read. A good example is, in the church today, they just read the Bible. They don't just break it down. They don't go into it. So usually Yahushua just get up and just read the scroll. But today he was going to break it down. He was going to start his ministry today, man. Right? So let's read it again. It says, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, so he always did this, he went into the synagogue on a Sabbath day and stood up to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, so we read in Isaiah, right? So we're going to go to what the Lord was reading. It says, and when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. Now, when we read verse 18, this is what Yahushua was reading from Isaiah 61. And I mind you, he just read this precept because this is what he wanted, and he closed the book. We're going to go read the rest of it if he would have continued, right? But this is what the Lord read when he opened the scroll. It says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. So that's what he read. And I think that is Isaiah 61, 1-3. We're going to read it though. That's what he said. Then it says, and he closed the book and he gave it again to the minister and sat down. And I laughed because Yahweh Shai, him and the Mosai, they dramatic, they be making scenes. But it said he closed the book and gave it to the minister and sat down. And it was strange to them because they expected him to read longer. No, he just pulled the precept and closed it. And he sat down, ain't look at nobody, just went sat down, look, head straight. So it says, in the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fasting on him. And so it said, and he begun to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. Right? So that's the reason he just wanted to read that. Now he could have kept reading, but we're gonna keep reading for him today. But he just wanted to pull that precept, which is what it wasn't an Isaiah 61 back then, it was just Isaiah. But he just wanted to get that to say the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. Right. This was the day Yahweh Shai was starting his ministry to say, look, I'm him. I'm him. The Lord sent me. Because before he just read, today he was saying, look, I'm him. Well, not me, but him. He was the one. He was making that known. And he stopped. But let's go to Isaiah 61, where he was reading that to see if the Lord would have kept reading, what else he would have read. And I want to ask this to Christians. Look, Jesus was reading Isaiah 61. So did he just agree with verse 1 through 2? Or did he agree with the rest of Isaiah as we about to read? You see, and I mind you, this Isaiah 61. What we just read was Isaiah 60 about the heathens building up our kingdom. Look, the Lord, the volume of the book, he agreed with everything. But let's read Isaiah 61 to see what Yahweh Shai would have been going into if we would have continued. So we're going to start at 1 again, which this is what he quoted. This is Isaiah 61 and 1. It said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because Yahweh have anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. This is what he quoted, right? He have sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. And look, he stopped there. That's where he stopped. But if he would have kept going, the very next word says, and so what he come and do to proclaim the year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God. That's on the heathens, man. And we're going to read on a little more, but that's on the heathens. If Yahweh Shai would have read it, yes, Jesus would have said himself, he coming to proclaim the year of the acceptable year and a day of vengeance, because that's what he going to come do. He come and bring vengeance now. He did the first part. It says to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. Come on. This is what the Lord would have read, that the comfort is coming for the Israelites, that those who will be who will receive liberty from being captives, that's for the Israelites, man. Those who are bound and brokenhearted, the comfort is coming for them as Israelites. It says, verse 3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. So Yahweh shall agree with this too, not all nations. It says to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness. Talking about the Israelites. The planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. Now check this out. It says, and they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations. Talking about us when we go back home, our land will be built back up. But again, we ain't gonna be doing it. We as Israelites ain't gonna be doing nothing. The heathens go do it for us. It says, and they shall repair the waste cities and desolations of many generations. Check this out. It says, verse 5, and strangers, who is that? That's the heathens. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. So we're going to have heathens in the fields in the kingdom of heaven. Yes, we're going to have, just like we was in the fields picking cotton, we're going to have people in the fields feeding our flocks, picking cotton, so on and so forth, finding gold. Like Christopher Columbus number. If you ain't find enough gold in a day, you got your hand cut off. Now the next day, you got to use one hand. We're going to be doing some of that. It says, and the strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. And the sons of the alien, they ain't talking about ET, the sons of no, it's the sons of heathens, strangers, and the sons of aliens shall be your plowmen and vine dressers. Yes, we're going to have them in the field in the kingdom of heaven. It's written. We reading it. They go be in the field, but it says, but ye, so us as Israelites, but ye shall be named the priests of Yahweh, and men shall call you the ministers of our God. And ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. Come on, man. So we're gonna be, look, just like the heathens got rich off us, well, we're gonna be getting rich off them. Although we're gonna be rich anyway, we're gonna have everything, but they're gonna add on to our glory. And it says, and we're gonna boast ourselves. We're gonna be talking, look, we talking our shit now. How much more when we perfect? And it says in their glory, right now it's their glory. We boasting ourselves right now, man. And I mind you, Yahushua started off quoting this chapter. He just stopped because he wanted to read the first 2 verses. That's it. But you better believe the Lord agree with the rest of this. It says, for your shame, the Israelite shame, ye shall have double, and for your confusion, ye shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land, they shall possess double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. It says, for I might as well finish it off. For I love judgment, I hate robbery for burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, those new bodies. And their seed, talking about the Israelites, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. And all that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh have blessed. So in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be a clear distinction between us and the heathens. Right here saying even the heathens, the real Gentiles, will acknowledge in that day that we are the ones the Most High blessed. It says they go acknowledge us and our children, man. Let's read it again. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles. So hold on. This telling us in the kingdom of heaven, everybody ain't on the same level. Or is Isaiah a false prophet for saying all this? It says, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. And all that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh have blessed, man. You see? So look, that's coming. That's coming. We about to receive these things. And again, and I just want to, touch on a few things, which is many more, even in the book of Isaiah, there's many other points to make. But I would just meditate on it, Isaiah 61, especially since Yahushua quoted it. But we had Isaiah 14 that going into us possessing these heathens once we rule, forever. So was Isaiah actually prophesying on something to come? Or to the Christians, is he a false prophet for saying the heathens go be under our subjection in the kingdom? Or in Isaiah 60, when it says the heathens go build up our kingdom, will that be true in the kingdom of heaven? Or is Isaiah a false prophet? Is he lying? Or as Yahushua quoted in Isaiah 61, that this comfort, this gospel, this good news, right? Us being released from captivity, the brokenhearted being healed. Yahushua said, look, that's for Zion. He was quoting that. They said, look, this comfort for mourning is for Zion. And in the kingdom, look, all the heathens go acknowledge that y'all, the Israelites, are the seed, the people who the Most High have blessed. So again, will this be fulfilled, or is Isaiah a false prophet? Come on, man, these things go be fulfilled. And when we hear prophecy, Christians can't get around prophecy. And it's just a few, this is, just a few things. It's way more. Christians can't get around prophecy, man. But I just want to touch on that real briefly. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. The Lord willing, we could probably even start a little series, a question for Christians, and throw some questions out there. And look, going to other prophets on what they said to see, look, is Ezekiel a false prophet for saying this? Was Jeremiah a false prophet for saying that? It was King David. So a lot of prophets prophesied about the same thing, But I just want to touch on Isaiah right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash, and your double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And keep fighting and keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And with that, shalom.